Alright guys, I'm going to try this one more time. This is like the third time that I've tried to make this video. And somebody was calling me and I kept not taking the call and they kept calling back. So I said, well, maybe it's an emergency. And I tried to pause the previous video, which I was like 5 minutes in, and I wasn't able to do so. So anyway, welcome to Meditations with Marigny, and thank you guys so much for stopping by. If you like my content, I would love for you to check like. I would love for you to share it with a friend, and I would absolutely be delighted if you would subscribe. I did this video, like I said, this is the third time. I did one this morning, and I love the content, but I did not like the positioning of the video. You know, sometimes I do them and my phone holder is in my cup holder. And I just found that that's not a real good angle. And so I have another phone holder, and I'm going to try it out. It's on the mirror. And sometimes, you know, guys, I'll do them from the car, but typically I try to do my videos when I'm sitting still like now. So I took my break, and I'm doing a video for you guys. And I'm going to make this one sort of like a quickie. I'm going to make it fast because I got to get back in the building. And I want to stay true to the content that I spoke about this morning because it was so raw and authentic. But I want to talk about the difference between a screensaver type of man or woman and a background type of man or woman. And mainly I'm going to be talking about I'm going to talk about it from a woman's perspective of what you should be desiring and looking for in a man as you continue to date for the purpose of becoming a wife. And I'm going to try not to alter my thought processes, because sometimes when things happen throughout the day, then you will change your content process. And I want to make sure I stay true to what I spoke about earlier today. So back in the day when computers were first made, oftentimes people would be on their computers and they might be dealing with very sensitive issues or concerns on the computer, and people could walk by and they could see what you had on your computer. Well, someone came up with the idea of making a screensaver. And so a screensaver is in place so that when you step away from that computer or when you're not there, that it can then hide and or protect that is behind the screen, right? Or it can keep other people from being able to see what you have on your computer during the time that you might not be right there at it. Well, what I was seeing was a screensaver is typically really pretty. It is usually like an island, or it's some beautiful place that you could visit. It's a waterfront or something like that, right? And then when you tap it, or when you tap the mouse, or when you hit the space bar, you will see then that the screensaver will disappear, and then the original document is there, right? Okay, go with me now. Y'all know this, the teacher in me. So if we have a screensaver and we look at that from a man's perspective, he's good with protecting what's behind them, right? That's a good thing. He's typically, as a screensaver, he might be exciting, like somewhere you want to visit, somewhere you want to go, something you want to do. And that's good. That's a great thing, right? Because oftentimes when I see screensavers come up on my computer, I might take a picture of it because I'll say, I want to go visit this place. Like, I want to see this very spot. And so I have some screensavers that I've taken pictures of, and they are, in my mind, places that I would like to go and visit. Like, I would like to stand at that very spot and see that with my own eyes. And so that's a lofty thing to do, right? Because the one thing that I think about is I don't get to travel that much. And when I do, I haven't really been to like a lot of exotic places. That's not typically where my budget will allow me to go. But I have traveled. And so the screensaver is there to do exactly what it's supposed to do. But then on the other side, we have something that's called a background scenery, or you have a background, and you get to go in and one component that I was going to say, the screensaver typically is not back in the day you could choose your screensaver, but now the screensavers, they come up like automatically. They just change and it'll show you a new scenery, and then up in the corner it'll ask you, if you like this, let us know and we'll show you more like this. So a lot of them, if I like it, I will like it, and then it will continue to produce those for me. With the background, typically on a computer, a background, you choose the background. And you choose the background because it's something that you desire, something that you want. And when you choose that background, it's consistent. It doesn't matter what happens with the computer. It doesn't matter how much the computer times out. The background is consistent. It's always there. It's always represented. You can depend on it. It is something that you know is reliable. How about if we looked at our relationships the same way? We look at our relationships, and sometimes we are so caught up with the person that, like, we have a good time with, we have fun with, or the person that, you know, we can, turn up the most with. That's great. That's great. That's chemistry, and you need chemistry in relationship. You do. You need that, because that is what happened with so many of us that are going through second and third and some people fourth relationships. That's what happened. We did not have the proper chemistry. We might have had I can't even say compatibility, because that really wasn't there either. So you had the chemistry, you hopped in bed, you made it happen, and then guess what? 6 months, 9 months, a year down the line, 3 years in, you're like, man, this person is not really who I thought they were. Kind of like a screensaver. But when you look at a background person, that person is consistent. It's kind of boring, because guess what? It might not give you all the flash and the excitement that the screensaver brings to it, but it's dependable. You can always count on it. You know it's going to have your back. You know that even when the document is in front of it, I thought that was so good when God showed me that. When the document is in front of it and the document is representation of the woman, the background is always solid. I said, that's something. How God would put that in place. Now the screensaver can do the same thing, but remember, it's temporal. It's flaky. It's typically going to be the guy that you would look at and you would be like, okay, I have a really, really good time with this guy, but can I really depend on him 5 years from now? Is he going to be somebody that I could see myself with and able to still follow his leadership and his directive in my household? Because we might not be having a good time when real life starts to hit. When things begin to happen and issues come up and financial concerns and, you need to repair this on the house, but somebody's not working. Like, those are real issues. And a lot of times people don't want to deal with the real issues because they only want to live in the screensaver. Well, I'm really more of a background type girl. So I may not choose the guy that I have the most fun with. I may not choose the guy that I have the most excitement with, because I'm going to want to know that in the background he has me. So I really I don't want to adjust this from what God said earlier today, but I thought it was very powerful that a screensaver and a background are both necessary, but they're different and they serve different purposes. And it depends on what type of woman that you are going to be a best fit for a screensaver type of guy. Same thing for the guys. Are you going to be a screensaver? Like a screensaver girl is going to be the fun girl. She's going to be the one that's the life of the party, and she's going to always be able to, make you laugh and things of that sort. She's probably going to bring you a whole lot of excitement, but can she hold down the house if things are falling apart? If you have to go and have surgery, or you have to be down for a moment because you're ill, is the household going to fall apart because she doesn't have a background mentality? Is she going to understand that if you save $10,000 in the bank and you have to put that in her hands, is she going to bleed through it? Or is she the type of woman that she is going to be able to manage that, and by the time she put it back in your hands, instead of it being 10,000, she's like, baby, I moved some stuff around, I saw how you were doing this, but in my mindset, because I handle money this way, we now got 12,000 or we got 15,000 in the bank. what type of woman is she? Is she a background woman, or is she a screensaver? And so I will just say, in my earlier video, one of the things that I said is that you have to look at them both, because they both are relevant. They both are beneficial. But you have to decide what it is that you need in your life. And what we have not done in this age group is many of us have not looked at what we really need. We looked at what we want. We looked at what we desire. But we have not looked at what we really need in order to be with somebody long term. And so with that being said, I'm not going to hold y'all. I did show y'all this morning, because if you see my video from yesterday, it was a big old tire back there yesterday. So I did get a tire on my car, and I feel much better. I feel safe and knowing that everything is going well. But I want you to really put some thought into that. Are you desiring a screensaver relationship? Or are you desiring a background relationship? And the last thing that I will say is that a background relationship, it may go through some ups and downs. It may go through some breakups. It may go through some things that are not consistent with what a screensaver relationship would bring, because that background relationship is going to be able to withstand the test of time. And so knowing that that person, if you guys remember, I did a video talking about him having the capacity to carry you. Ladies, if he does not have the capacity, don't marry him. If he does not have the capacity, if you can't see yourself submitting to his leadership and his headship and his decision making for a long term, I'm not talking about the screensaver, because it's going to all be fun in the beginning. But can you see that 6 months from now? Can you see that a year from now? Because if you are a woman who has a lot of decision-making opportunities before you, sometimes that's very difficult to give over to him. And you have to be understanding that that's still his position. Y'all remember I did a video about your money. A woman's money doesn't change his position in the household. It doesn't change the order of God. So I'm not going to make this video long. I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. I want to say that if you enjoyed the content, I would love for you to like. I would love for you to share it with a friend. And then I would absolutely be delighted if you guys would help me get my last 3 subscribers for this month. I need 3 to reach my goal. All right, y'all, have a good day. Bye.